Hi, welcome to the Empower Financial Group of America sales training. This training is meant to accompany the roadmap that you've been given by Travis. And so Jennifer and I are just going to walk through that with you. My name's Whitney Davis. I'm the CEO. And Jennifer is one of our all-star agents who is out in the field constantly breaking records. So we're just really grateful to have her expertise. Jennifer, one thing that always impresses me about you is the amount of work you put into the pre-approach. And so for those of you guys that are new to Empower and learning this, pre-approach is a part of sales that I think a lot of companies forget about or don't do much training on. It is one thing that can take you from having an average week to having a great week if you do it right. So pre-approach is the work that we do on the front side before we set our appointments. Jennifer, just kind of walk through the process that Empower has, and then also some of the things that you do that are a little special that give you more confidence going into the field.
Okay, I'll do my best. Hello, everyone. I'm Jennifer Turrenton. So what you guys have provided as far as the process is Travis sends out the flyer roughly a month in advance. He copies us on that email. So as soon as I receive that email, seeing that he has sent that out, I immediately go in and research the location, the address, and I set up my rosters with the professional's name, their suite number.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yes.
So when you say you do the research, you're going to the brand website? Okay.
Correct. Yes. So I go to the brand website. I get their names, their suite numbers, and their phone numbers from there if the site leader or the owner does not provide a roster.
Okay.
Also, if they do provide a roster, I double check it against what the website shows.
Hang on. Pro tip. If you get your roster from the site leader, she goes and double checks that with the website. That's a good thing because sometimes you find people that have moved out or recently moved in. And so if there is a discrepancy, that's something important to know for sure.
Correct. And something I've also noticed is some of the phone numbers on the roster are different than the phone numbers on the website because the roster may have their personal number and the website may have their business number. I guess it's up to you if you want to text both. Sometimes I do if I don't get a response on one.
That's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have never done that. So that makes sense why you're so good at this.
And then, so I make sure I'm prepared for my trip. The night before, I'll always send my text.
What time do you do that?
Between 5:30 and 6. No later than 6:15. Depends on how many people I'm texting, how long it takes me. But if your information is correct on the website, it's easy just to text directly click the button, shoot a text.
Perfect.
Always double check that you have the correct name if you're using names. I like to use names so it's more personalized.
Sure.
And then
when you use names, only first name, right?
Yes, only first name.
Okay.
And I also use an emoji sometimes, like a smiley face or something, because for some reason, if you send an emoji, I've been told they don't think it's spam.
Sure.
Anyhow. So then my last step of research would be to go on their personal page, click their link, and just learn a little bit about them.
Sure.
What do they do? Do they wax? Do they do color? Do they do extensions? And just to kind of get ready to meet them and kind of have a feel for who they are.
What do you do with that information?
When I introduce myself, sometimes I mention that I had checked out their page or I've seen their work or how cool, whatever their art is.
Sure.
And I kind of see a wall come down a lot of times.
Yeah, absolutely. So. It's a way to create that genuine connection. And I would assume it probably gives you a lot of confidence going into the salon that you now feel like you're going to meet some friends versus a bunch of strangers.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Because a lot of times there's a photo of them on there. And so I already kind of know what I'm looking for, So when I see them, I have that memory of who that is. And I know I'm speaking to the right person, not just someone that might be subleasing their suite.
Yeah, 100%. And those subleasers, if you pick up really quickly that they're not the person in charge, they're still a potential client.
Absolutely, yes. I have actually signed up subleasers and the owner of the suite.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that because I know the way you do pre-approach is better than I think anybody on the team.
you.
are a little bit of a stalker.
I am. Just a little. I try not to be too creepy, but yes.
But yeah, going to the social medias, I've done that once or twice, and those were my best days that I've ever had
Yes.
in the salon, and it makes a difference. So
Right. And I feel like they feel very appreciated that you took the time to check out what their art is.
for sure. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to fast forward into the approach section. So the pre-approach is the work we do ahead of time. The approach is what we do when we start introducing ourselves. So those are things like the text messages. That is an example of an approach. And the way that Empower has built out our sales cycle is we've tried to make it very easy for you guys so that when you're in the field, you've got multiple touch points with the salon professionals to be able to build a relationship and create an appointment. So I'm going to pull up my folder really quickly that you guys also are going to be following along with. Hopefully that's your roadmap to success. And before we move on to approach completely, I do just want to add a couple action items that you're seeing on pre-approach. One is build your folders for the week and just check your checklist to make sure that everything is up to date. That is a living document, so it's evergreen and it can be changed, especially if we change what providers we're offering or that kind of thing. Second is utilize your salon website to build your roster. Jennifer spoke on that. Ensure you receive the flyer email and have saved a copy to your phone. That's another pro tip. If your site leader or your franchise owner did not send out the flyers ahead of time, and we do this because we know no enrollment goes perfect, right? If we know that we might expect that, having a copy of the flyer on your phone or even printed to show the professionals gives you a lot more credibility. Hey, no big deal. I know they probably meant to send it out to you. Here's a copy. Oh, maybe I did see that, right?
Exactly.
Email your owner or site leader your pre-email that should go out the Friday prior to your visit, but just send that out so you have one more touch point with that site leader and have expectations. Utilize social media. Jennifer spoke on that. Ensure you have your address for the week, right? Make sure you're at the right brand and also the right salon. We have had several agents that have gone to the wrong location.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's, some of them have similar names.
Right.
In Colorado, there's a Cherry Creek and Cherry Hills. They're 10 minutes apart. It's an easy mistake. So just spend a little bit of time and double check that. And then know what's nearby. Where's your closest Nothing Bundt Cake and where's your closest Chick-fil-A? If those two things are not close, then you need to contact Travis to make sure that we have that set up. Things to avoid. This is a big one. Referencing the incorrect brand. Our clients see the benefits that they get with Empower as an amenity to their professionals and something that makes them special and sets them apart. So when we reference our competition, it devalues every reason that they work with us. Sending text messages too early or too late. 6 o'clock is the sweet spot. 6 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. They don't respond. They're busy. 8 o'clock, they're offended. 6 o'clock is the right time. Going to the wrong location, again, just checking the brand, making sure you've got that right address. Not sending text messages at all, unless it is a brand that we're instructed not to text. Not sending the text messages will set you up for failure. And then selling via text. Your text message is an approach. It is not a sales cycle. So when they ask about what is this about, what are these benefits, this is just to let you know about the perks you have access to through whatever brand that you're visiting. When can we get 10 or 15 minutes? I can really educate you on that. And if they push back a little, it's so much to go through by text. Understand if you're super busy tomorrow, when can we set up a phone call, right?
Absolutely.
Go back to get that appointment. Okay, so the approach. The approach is what I consider a never-ending process that goes on throughout the day. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
You feel like you're always approaching people?
Always. And reapproaching.
And reapproaching?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
let's talk about that. So the first part of the approach is we send that text message the evening before at 6 p.m. On the day of, walk me through day of approach. Start with picking up Nothing Bundt Cakes for the day. And how many do you get?
So usually just a dozen, but if there are more than 30 at that location, then you can get 2 dozen.
Perfect.
I've never had to do that.
Okay.
also don't like having leftovers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so you pick up the bundt cakes. I have my roster ready. I only once I arrive and get like wherever my location is, wherever they've told me to kind of tuck my stuff away, I get my bundt cake box with my roster on top and a pencil, and I just start walking. I usually arrive by 9:15 or 9:20, so
Okay.
I get there earlier
Sure.
than most people are already there. It gives me time to kind of get my bearings about me, see where the restrooms are, where the break room, where the washroom, whatever they have
If
there.
there's an empty suite for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just kind of give me a moment, just kind of gather myself and be prepared. Then I start walking. As I see people, I will either, quickly kind of tap with my nails as I open the door. I don't wait for people to respond and say, come in or whatever. I'm
Right.
supposed to be there. I'm excited, and I know they're going to be excited. So
Yep.
I just open the door, introduce, like, hey, Whitney, I'm Jennifer. Did you get my text last night?
Sure.
A lot of times they'll say, oh my gosh, I did, but I forgot to respond, or I thought that was, spam, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm a real person. And, I offer them bundt cakes. I try to get their order for lunch, or I get their order for lunch, and I set the appointment.
Okay. Very good. Yep. So you hit all the things on day of. Get your bundt cakes. Be on site no later than 10. I like that you get there a little bit earlier than 10 o'clock because it does give you that time to have confidence in the salon, but no later than 10. If you are running later than 10, you need to email the site leader because sometimes they're there waiting for you. And so that's definitely a big one. If the site leader is available for your site, go in and introduce yourself. The first person that you're selling is the site leader.
Absolutely.
And not necessarily on the benefits. Sometimes you can close them, but you're selling the site leader on the value that you bring to their brand and the support that they can provide for you throughout the day. A bad site leader won't make a bad day, but a great site leader can make a record-breaking day.
Absolutely.
Right? So just kind of keep that in mind as you go. Starting at 10, start your walkthrough. I love that Jennifer said, I'm opening the door with a quick tap of the hand. Now I'm going to make her role play and she's going to hate me for it. But we're going to go into that intro here in just a second. So here we go. I will do mine first.
Okay, good.
And then you get to do yours. So this is the approach, right? When I come in, I like to introduce myself and address them by first name. That is really important. When you walk in and it's just like, oh, hey there, now you've created a scenario where you are a solicitor, not a friend, right? That is why people don't like folks going around the suites, is they don't want them to be solicited. So if we approach them like a friend, they will not get that same pushback. Okay. So, hey, Jennifer, I'm Whitney. You should have gotten a text from me last night.
Hey, yeah, I did.
Okay. That's all right. Most folks didn't respond, so I'll let y'all know. Hey,
But I am hungry.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll get your lunch order for sure. We are part of the benefits team for My Salon Suite, and so just wanted to come by. We want to treat you to lunch and tell you thanks for choosing My Salon Suite. I actually have a little buntini to kick off your day, but what can I get you for lunch from Chick-fil-A?
Oh, I'll just take some nuggets.
Okay. You want fries with that?
No, thank you.
Okay. My husband always laughs that I ask people if they want fries with that for a living. And then, Jennifer, when do you have like 10 or 15 minutes that we can walk through all the amenities you get access to?
I have a really packed day.
Sure.
Let me look at my book really quick.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have 10 minutes between my 12 o'clock and my 12:30.
Okay. Will you be finished up around 12?
I should be, but
Okay.
sometimes it takes me a little longer.
Is that a client that you're super comfortable with? Like if we just kind of started chatting while they're
It
here?
is,
Okay.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
I'll put you down for 12. Now, do you know I try to get lunch to you as close to lunchtime as I can, but normally like 11 to 2:30, just depending on my
Okay,
day and how
yeah.
busy the book gets.
Okay,
Is
no
that fair?
worries. Yeah, I'm just
Perfect.
happy to have lunch. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I'll bring you lunch and then I'll see you again at 12 just to walk through everything.
Okay, awesome. I look forward to talking.
All right. That's one approach. Okay. They're not all perfect.
No.
That wasn't even perfect, but it's okay. It's just getting the appointment. We did not go in and say, hi, Jennifer, I'm Whitney. I'm here to sell you disability insurance. How much money do you make? And are you ready to sign up? That's what not to do. All right, Jennifer, what do you say when you enter? So I'm going to role play with you. So
Okay.
say I would say this. So I'll be your client.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So pretty similar, but this is normally once I tap on the door and enter, I'm like, hey, Whitney, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Hi. Well, see, not perfect. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with the benefits team for my salon suite. Did you get my text last night?
I did. Yeah, I actually meant to text you back. I'm sorry.
Okay, awesome. No problem. I know you're so busy. Can I get your lunch order then?
I actually brought lunch, so I'm okay there. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. If you change your mind, just let me know. You'll see me walk in the halls. But how about a bundt cake to get you going today?
Well, heck yeah.
Okay,
What are they?
good. And when would you have about 10 or 15 minutes to chat about all the benefits that are available to you through My Salon Suite?
I actually have a break right now. I don't know if you're busy now.
I would love to chat with you now. Let me grab a folder and I'll
Okay.
be right back and we'll chat.
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome.
All right. So again, the point of the approach is not to sell. The point of the approach is to get the appointment, right? The biggest, and Jennifer, agree with me or disagree. Would you agree that one of the biggest common denominators for your success is how many appointments you have?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And she gets a lot. You're not going to get 20 via text. You're going to
Right.
get 2, maybe 3. If you have the world's best site leader, maybe 4 or 5.
Right.
Right. It comes from the bundt cakes.
Oh.
And the other thing to keep in mind, guys, it only takes 3 or 4 people to have a great day here.
This is
So
true.
it's, if there's only 7 or 8 people in your salon that day, don't be discouraged. You just doubled what you need to be successful. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So next part is, I'm coming back. All right. Next part is rapport.
Okay. Yes.
This is, I think, one of the most difficult pieces to teach because it has to be genuine and it has to be authentic. There's no script to do it properly. One of our agents, Lisa McVeigh, who's been with us a very, very, very long time. She's one of the leaders on our team. Lisa has an acronym that she taught me, and maybe she got it somewhere else. I don't know. I give her credit for it. It's called FORM.
Okay.
Family, occupation, recreation, motivation.
Awesome.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So with form is the questions that she asks to build rapport are all based around form. People love to talk about themselves, and a great way to build rapport is through those 4 factors, right? The nice thing is when we're sitting in their suite, it's like sitting at their kitchen table. You get a glimpse into their life.
Absolutely.
You see how they like to decorate. Sometimes you see pictures of their family. You see their work, which is their art. They are very passionate about it. It's really easy to build genuine relationships and rapport using that. So best practices is take note of the decor and the atmosphere. Take note of the services they offer. We're going to approach a nail technician a little different than we would approach a hairstylist. Same thing with an esthetician or a waxer. They all kind of have
Absolutely.
different things that they offer. Compliment the professional. This has to be genuine. Going in and saying, "Oh, Jennifer, I love your shirt. I like her shirt." Right? She probably likes mine, but she's probably not going to go buy the shirt, right? Find
Right.
something that you're really genuinely impressed with. I'm impressed that Jennifer's wearing high heels. I haven't worn them in 20 years. That's a real connection. She giggled, she laughed. Now we have a relationship, right? Like, girl, I don't know how the heck you're wearing those, but my real question is, are you going to wear them all day while you're doing hair?
Heck no. They're coming off.
Thanks for getting dressed up for me. Now we have relationship. Do you see how easy it is whenever you make a genuine compliment, right? Find something that works for you. Tailor your questions to form. Most important key is to be genuine, be charming, and build a conversation. You do have to share a part of you. We give to get, right?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
I complimented your shoes, but I gave you a little about me. Girl, I haven't worn heels in 20 years.
Exactly.
Right? Now we're real people. We're human, right? We have an agent, Stephanie France. Her husband is a rancher, and they have this little baby cow. And this baby cow walks through their house, and they feed it in the backyard. And there's these incredible videos. And I asked her one time, she was having a bad week. I said, Stephanie, did you show everybody your, we call it the house cow.
Right.
Show everybody your house cow. And she's like, haven't shown anybody my cow. I'm like, girl, that's your kryptonite.
Yeah.
Show people your cow.
Right.
Find the thing that's genuine and charming about you, and don't be afraid to be human. Too many times people go in and build rapport, and we're so professional. And this is probably not the best advice you can get from the CEO. But I want you to be professional and respectful, but I want you to be human more. That makes sense?
I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So, things to avoid: rapid fire questions. Let's role play through really bad rapport building.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Jennifer, it's
Hi.
really nice to meet you today. I really love your suite. Could you tell me more about if you have kids?
Yeah, I have 5 children.
Oh, how old are your kids?
28, 25, 21, 20, and 16.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. Are you married too?
I am.
And what do you like to do in your free time?
Clean the house.
It's so hard to do. But
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? When you start rapid firing questions
Yeah.
at people, you lose them.
Mm-hmm.
I have a carrier we work with, and every time he calls me, he says, hey, Whitney, how are you doing today? And it's like nails on a chalkboard. I want to hang up the phone
Right.
because his rapport building, there is none. We have no relationship. It's so disgenuine.
Right.
And you have to listen to your voice. If your voice gets too high, it creates doubt and distrust.
Okay.
And the entire purpose of rapport is to build trust, to get their guard down, to have the conversations we're going to have.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any key things that you do in rapport building?
I don't know. When you were talking, I was thinking, I feel as though the number one thing is to always be genuine, and you mentioned that. Sometimes and I know it's not our job to, but sometimes if you're not genuinely interested in what they're saying, I mean, I think they know.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm talking to someone and they really don't care what's coming out of my mouth, they're just waiting to get to the next question they have to ask me. It's pretty obvious.
feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious, and I'm immediately kind of starting to put that wall
Turn
back up.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know you've mentioned this a lot. You should listen more than you speak.
Isn't that hard?
Sometimes it really, especially for someone that is a chatterbox like myself, and so I have to be very aware.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So the rapport building is just that opportunity. Just like she said, we're going to build that connection. It's so easy to do. We sit down. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for carving out a little bit of time with me. I know earlier you said, I don't know. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We're going to edit this part out. There's your signal to edit. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for taking a little bit of time with me. Were you able to eat lunch yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Why don't you eat while we talk?
You don't mind?
No.
Okay, awesome.
No,
I
not at
won't.
all. If I
Okay.
can have a French fry, I'm good.
I'll share.
That's sweet. Yeah. Maybe not if they're cold. But, Jennifer, how long have you been at this suite?
About 5 years now.
Awesome. So that's like right when they opened.
I am. I'm one of the OGs.
Okay.
And that's a term I like to use. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like when I'm talking with people, if they say I'm one of the first people, I'm like, oh, you're an OG. And they're like, oh, I am.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They
So,
love it.
mhm,
Yeah,
they
for
do.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you were here when they started, and did you come from like a commission salon, or have you always been self-employed?
No, I was at a commission salon.
Okay.
And I've loved the transition over.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you've made it 5 years, you're probably doing pretty well. Is what it
I
sounds like.
I feel pretty good. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. What's next?
Retirement eventually.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think I can definitely help with all of those things. Pause. We're going to go into the next part, which is our introduction. So, the rapport building, we don't have to become best friends. We just need to have a relationship. You giggled, we laughed, there's some warmth, and now we can move on to the next step.
Okay.
So we call this the roadmap because there's red lights and green lights, right?
Right.
We don't have permission. We got a red light to go into the introduction of why we're there until the rapport is built. Now it's green light and we move on to the next step. Does that
Gotcha.
kind of make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
total.
So the introduction is the transition into why we are there. This is important. If you miss this step, it's weird. You're not going to close people when you create weird scenarios, right?
Right.
So we go from becoming friends to now we're going to get down to business. If you don't transition that and you just go from being friends to let me tell you about insurance, it gets really odd, right? So this is a transition to why. All right, so Jennifer, just a little bit about who I am and who Empower is, why we're here. We have been the benefits partner for My Salon Suite for the last 5 years, actually 7 now. Sometimes I get the number wrong. Yeah, it's been 7 years with My Salon Suite. And our job is to just take some of the stress off of you when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur. We know benefits is a major barrier to entry. Probably one of those things you thought long and hard about 5 years ago whenever you opened up, right?
Yes.
And so because you chose to open your business at My Salon Suite, you actually get access to group benefits, the exact same as if you worked for a corporation, right?
That's awesome.
They're discounted. It's good coverage. So generally what helps me is to go through a few questions, find out where I can have the most impact for you today, and then I'll leave you information on all the other pieces too. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good. Okay.
perfect. All right. There we go. We're pausing. That's the introduction.
Okay.
That's it.
Easy peasy.
That's that transition.
Yeah.
Do you do something very similar?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. I would just, same thing. Just like let you know why I'm here with the benefits,
Yep.
you know, how long I've been with My Salon Suites as partners, and, you know,
Yep.
same difference.
Very good. Yep. And so again, the introduction is not where we make the sell. This is a transition to building trust into the sales process. We're solidifying our relationship with the brand. So we are always adding new brands. You may be at a brand new brand where you can't say, we've been working with them for 7 years. So how do you build that credibility in your transition? It's we're the largest provider of benefits in the beauty and wellness space nationwide.
Yes.
We protect more than 70,000 beauty professionals across the United States. And so now, you know, thank God XYZ Salon has decided to partner with us and bring those brands to your salon too.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And people are very impressed by that. I've
They're so
noticed
excited.
Since I was at, I'm so sorry. Since I was at Salon Republic last week and it was a new brand,
Yeah.
I had to, you know, transition over to saying,
Yeah.
and they were like, really? And they were
Yeah.
like, where are you from? Your accent. And I was like, oh, I'm, you know, in Texas, but we travel all over the U.S. bringing, and they're like, that is so cool. You
Yeah.
know? So they
Yeah.
are impressed by that.
That's awesome. All right. So now we're going into building the need. You ready?
I am.
I'll
Do we have
most-
the diagram?
I'll do most of the role play for you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Jennifer, when we sat down, Jennifer's like, please don't make me role play. I'm like, that's exactly what we're doing. But okay, so building the need is asking guiding questions to help them realize the importance of protection. Okay, so our transition is I'm going to ask some questions to find out what coverages may be best for you. We're guiding the horse to water, right? We already know where we're going to end up, but we're going to start with asking some questions. I like to have a pen and paper, and I make notes on the back of an application because it adds value to the answers they give.
I do.
You're
as well.
more than likely to give me answers if I start to write them down.
Yes.
So, Jennifer, just a couple quick questions. You guys have health insurance right now?
We do. Yes.
Okay. And is that through your spouse's work?
Yes, through my husband. We have
Okay.
health, dental, and vision.
Okay, perfect. Saves me a few questions. If you're all already getting that, no need to look at that there.
Right.
How about life insurance? Are you doing anything outside of what he has from his job?
No, I think he has life insurance and maybe a policy on me as well through work.
Through work. Okay. That's definitely something you guys should look at, and I'll leave some information there.
Okay.
And then I know you said next is retirement. Do you have a plan for that? Are you working
Yes.
towards it?
I am, but I'm not.
Okay.
So I just don't know where is the best place to put my money to grow it, like
Okay.
how to even get started since I'm self-employed now. When I was
Yeah.
previously, I had a 401k. I'm going to use answers I've received.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how to access that
Sure.
money. I don't know if I can still contribute to
geez.
that.
Okay, so we can help with all of that. And
Okay.
again, I'm going to leave you a ton of information, but they definitely have some good resources for you there through
Okay.
Empower.
Okay.
And probably the most important question that I ask everybody, Jennifer, is what do you have right now if, God forbid, you're sick, you're hurt, you can't work, that's going to provide you a paycheck? It's going to pay money to you.
Not, I mean, I have some savings, but that's not
Okay.
a paycheck.
Yeah. Any sort of disability plans or anything like that?
No.
Okay. That's probably most important. We'll focus on that today and I'll leave you info on everything else
Okay.
if that's fair.
Yeah.
Just because, especially being self employed, like what do you think is the biggest asset to your business?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of really nice
Yeah,
things
girl.
here, but if I'm not here to use them, I guess I'm the biggest asset.
100% own it. Yeah. If you're not here, there's no revenue.
Right.
All the beautiful tools and things that you have in here, they're not going to get the hair done without you.
Right.
Right. And so do you think it's possible, Jennifer, that something could happen, you know, a car accident, an illness, a procedure you're having to take time off work to recover from?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Life happens.
For sure. Yeah. We see it every day in our business, you know,
Right,
your
right.
business, hopefully not so much, but maybe from your clients sharing their experiences.
Yes, or people a few suites down. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Things have happened.
Yeah. And if something were to happen, Jennifer, how long could you go without 100% of your income?
So I have a little bit of savings.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe a couple of months.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's better than most. Warren Buffett says 92% of American families are one paycheck away from financial
wow.
ruin. So
Yeah.
2 months is good. You should applaud that.
It's not much though, and I would have to
Yeah.
really cut back on a lot of things.
Well, yeah. I mean, our income, you know, typically is here and our bills are down here. But when something bad happens, what happens to our income?
Right.
And what happens to the bills?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And so we're able to provide some really great solutions for you to make sure that if something were to happen, Jennifer, that there is money coming in, not only to protect the business that you've worked so hard to build, but also to protect your family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer, as long as I can show you a way to protect the business and everything that you've been growing these last 5 years, it's not taking food off the table. It's a tax write-off for you. Do you see any reason why you wouldn't want to put protection in place?
No.
Yeah.
Seems silly that I wouldn't. Yeah, I
Sure.
would like to learn more.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is, as long as it fits in the budget, that sounds
absolutely.
like a great decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I can afford it, I want to do it.
100%. And I will tell you the nice thing about your being at My Salon Suite is they've partnered with us to ensure that no matter if you're just getting started making 20 grand a year or you're the one who's, you know, blowing it out of the water, there's coverages to take care of you and your family that
Okay.
are affordable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let me kind of walk you through that.
Okay.
All right, pause. So what we just went through was the building the need, and we also started and we went through the buying atmosphere, which is that question that we asked. We did not go into the demo of filling the need yet, but I do want to go back really quickly into building the need.
Okay.
Those questions that we asked were super important, right? Do you think
Absolutely.
something could happen? What's the biggest asset to your business? How long could you go? Getting you to acknowledge that you need something, right? And then we go into the buying atmosphere. And the buying atmosphere, JD thinks, his opinion, this is the most important question of the entire sales process,
Okay.
right? Is if I can show you a way that's affordable, not taking food off the table, you see any reason why you wouldn't
Right.
want to put protection in place? You should be able to say that question in some variation of it.
Right.
The parts you can't change are the end. Do you see any reason why you wouldn't want to put coverage in place? Why you wouldn't want to get protection? You can't say, how does that sound? You can't say,
Right.
as long as we can find something affordable, will you sign up today? Those are
Right.
very different questions.
are,
They're the
yes.
exact same, right? But they're different,
Different.
and they're received and heard differently. Then we solidify your answer because it's a question you can't say no to, right? You're like, yeah, as long as it fits in the budget is
Right.
typically what people say.
Right. Exactly.
So I tell them back their response. This is like Psychology of Selling 201 instead of 101 now, right? I'm going to say, so Jennifer, what I'm hearing you say is as long as it's affordable, it would be silly not to put something in place, right?
Right.
Okay. Perfect. Now I'm going to go back to the relationship with the brand. This is my transition into dropping price. It's called a price buildup, right? I'm going to do everything I can to add more value right before I drop price. Okay, so I'm going to say, Jennifer, the good news is working with My Salon Suite and Empower is we've partnered together to ensure no matter where your income level is, there's appropriate coverage that's affordable. Matter of fact, what did you earn last year? Your gross earnings. So not after you take away the taxes
Okay.
and not your tips, but your credit card processing.
Right. I was right at 100,000.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I love it when people make good money here because they're so excited.
Yes,
They're like, and let me
yes.
not tell you about the other 20 I made in tips.
Exactly.
All right. So Jennifer, you are over what's called our limit where you are able to get coverage without any health questions.
Okay.
So at 60,000, we're able to protect an entire 60% of your income, $36,000 a year or $3,000 a month.
Okay.
When you're at 100,000, then we can get up to 5,000 if you are perfectly healthy.
Okay.
Are you on any medications or any diagnosis?
No, I do not take any medications.
Okay.
I am a cancer survivor,
Okay.
but that was eight
when
years
was
ago.
that? 8 years? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But other than that,
Okay. So what I'm going to recommend, Jennifer, is that we start with the 3,000.
okay.
So we ensure you have coverage in place, right?
Okay.
And then we'll go back and ask to increase that to 5. But the good news is that plan is only $140 a month. That's not bad, is it?
No, I thought it would be a lot more than that.
Everybody does. Yeah. No, we make it really affordable. How do I spell your legal first name?
JENN.
We're going to pause. All right. So when they're over the guaranteed issue amount, I'm still going to sell guaranteed issue first unless they're perfectly healthy, right? She is a cancer survivor. It has been time. She probably will be approved, but I can't guarantee that.
Right.
If she gets declined at the $5,000 level, it's on me now. She has no insurance. Whereas I could get her $3,000 a month. You notice how I let in with $36,000 a year?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think I did that?
I don't know.
It's price build up, right?
Right.
We're about to drop price. I'm about to tell you what it costs. I just said we're going to insure $36,000 a year or $3,000 a month, and that's only $140 a month. That's not bad, is it?
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very easy way to drop price to get her to not be stuck too much in it. And I've got a lot of places I can go because I'm still at the 12-month benefit period, right? I can go to 6 or 3 if I need to for price purposes,
Okay.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, in your situation, I'm going to tell you after we fill out all the paperwork and I finish that part, I'm going to tell you what the price would be at 5,000, right? And I'm going to let you know that after I'm going to follow up with you to try to do that increase after we get your coverage approved,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
My nose is itchy.
Can she scratch your nose?
I'm going to scratch it, edit. All right.
So
Okay.
I don't want to go off script, and you
Yep.
probably, but what if we had been role playing? God, I keep hitting this. I'm really sorry. And you get pushback, and they want that full 5,000, and you know it's not a good idea.
I'm going to tell them. I'm
You-
going to be honest. We have a relationship. We have trust. I'm going to say, Jennifer, I don't think that they're going to deny you for the $5,000 of coverage, but my job is to make sure you have coverage, right? Right
And-
now, if tomorrow you had a car accident and you were out of work for 6 months, there'd be $0 coming in. If I was able to get you the $3,000, you'd have $18,000 coming in. If we apply for 5 and they deny you, we're back to 0. So my plan is to get you protection, right?
Okay,
We'll start with the 3. I know that you want 5. I want you to get 5. I don't get to make that decision. The insurance company does. Once you have 3, they can't take it away from you. So we'll start at the 3. We'll go back and apply for 5 once you have the 3. If they say no, no big deal. We stay at 3. If they say 5 is cool, great, we move up.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I do too. And I just
Yeah.
remind them, if you get declined at 5,
You
there's-
have to not be afraid to have the hard conversation, and also they're looking to you for guidance. You are the expert,
Right.
right? So just being assertive enough to say, I'm not going to let you do that
Right.
because this is how that scenario would play out.
Right. It's like having those hard conversations sometimes, because I have met ladies that they tell me they have no health issues. And I believe them, but the height and weight, just by, I already know. But they're like, I have no health issues. And so then, do you go into,
No, height and weight, I absolutely do.
okay,
And
because I do
pick on
too. I mean, I don't like,
self-deprecation is your best friend there, right? So I always say, listen, I'm a little fluffy. I'm always a little fluffy. I don't get approved for all insurances at my size.
right.
And so,
That's,
Let-
that's how I
let's
address it
start
as
with-
well.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was just
and
making,
typically I'm much smaller than the person I'm saying that to, and they can kind of read between the lines there, right?
Right.
Or I can just very easily also say, hey, there is a height and weight chart that if you're outside of those boundaries, they will deny the coverage. So we'll just start at the 3 and we can always go back up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So buying atmosphere. Now we're getting into the end. Hallelujah. All right. We're at the end. So at the very end is whenever we go into the demo. Now, this is where I see a lot of what I would consider brand new agents or enrollment agents who have been part of corporate enrollments where they're just sitting down like, what health insurance do you want? Do you want, let me walk you through
Right.
the specifications of the disability. This is where a lot of agents will lose a prospect. They got them to agree the price wasn't bad. They
Right.
got them to say, I'm going to buy it if the price is right. And then they start talking insurance. And they talk insurance for 20 minutes and they talk themselves right out of it, right? They trust you. The purpose of buying income protection is to know you have someone to call when something happens and to know that you have a backup plan. They will not remember what we discussed.
Absolutely.
They're not going to remember it 5 minutes from the time you walk out. They'll remember pieces. They'll
Right.
remember how they feel, but they won't remember the ins and outs of the policy, right?
Right.
Very few, especially when we're working with artists, right? They're not engineer brains.
Right.
They're artist brains.
Right.
Okay. So, Jennifer, the way your plan works, that $3,000 would start on the first day of an accident. So you have a car accident, they'll start sending checks backdated to the day it happened, right?
Okay.
If it's what they call sickness, that's going to be, you diagnosed with cancer again, God forbid, or you have a really bad case of pneumonia, or even like outpatient procedures, carpal tunnel, that kind of stuff, where you're unable to work, that will start day 8. So
Okay.
7-day wait period for that, right? They
Okay.
just want to make sure you're not filing a claim every time you have a sinus infection.
Right. Okay.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that plan will last for up to a year at the $3,000 per month that it would pay out to you.
Okay.
And then it also comes along with some supplemental plans that are just built into the package. So one of those is a $20,000 payout if, God forbid, you're diagnosed with a major illness. That's going to be cancer, heart disease, ALS, MS, Parkinson's, you name it. There's like 20 different listed on that.
Okay.
But that's $20,000 that you'll get upon diagnosis to use however you need, right?
Oh, wow.
On
Okay.
top of the disability that you're taking to recover from that diagnosis.
Okay.
And then it also comes with a little accident plan. It just pays you more for the injuries, right? It'll
Okay.
pay per day that you're in the hospital if you have an accident. It'll pay for things that maybe don't disable you. Like one of my most common claims on that is gals that they cut their hand with their shears, or after they get sharpened, they have to go get a couple stitches. You're not disabled from that. You're back at work the same day, but you get paid a couple $100 from the accident plan for the
Okay.
inconvenience. So all that's built into the plan that we put together for you.
Okay.
And all of that will go into effect on July 1st.
Okay.
Good news is you only have to pay for it till the end of July. So you got a little while for
That's
that.
nice.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Wow.
And after
Even if
that,
I
I'll
get
just-
hurt before my first payment?
If it happens after July 1st, which is your effective date. Yep.
Wow.
I know. We've actually had that happen a few times.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be set up there. So Jennifer, just a few things on the paperwork. JENNIFER. And then how do I
Correct.
spell your last name?
TURRENTINE.
Okay. You can give me like basic numbers from here. And you're 5'2", 150. What's your social, Jennifer?
45991.
Okay. I'm going to ask you again. Give me pushback. What's your social?
You have to have my social?
Yeah. It's an insurance policy. It's requirement.
Oh, okay. Just the last 4?
The whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 45991.
Okay. Right, don't give me your whole social. Okay.
It wasn't. It was a different one.
I was like, that sounds like real, Jennifer. Maybe don't say that. Your address, your
Yeah.
phone number, email. Okay. You said your gross income's right at 100,000. Okay. Perfect. Again, we're applying for the 3, and then
Okay.
we'll go back and ask for the increase to 5.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Got
But
it.
even if they approve it, you'll still get the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm good. I'll stay at 3. If you know.
Okay.
So you'll have a lot of options there. And you do work full time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Do you have, you said earlier, but I just want to verify for the application, you don't have any other disability plans in place?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, perfect. Sign date here. Great. And then Jennifer, you are able to write this off on your taxes, regardless
awesome.
of whether or not you pay with your business or personal.
Okay.
Your accountant is probably going to prefer your business.
Okay.
But you can do
Okay.
either. What do you prefer?
I guess I better do my personal
Okay. And where do you do your banking?
Chase.
Perfect. And do you have the account number?
Yes, on my phone. Did you want me to give you pushback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just grab that for me real quick. Oh, you said pushback.
Yeah.
I thought you said, do I want you to give me
Yeah.
my...
Do you want me to give you some like what I've been told before, or?
Well, not yet. So
Okay.
on the...
So yeah, on my app, I think I have it on my app.
Yep,
Let me
it's
look.
on your app.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you want my my account or routing first?
Either one.
Routing is
Okay,
1 2 3
perfect.
4 5
Yep.
6.
So I'm going to get your routing number, and then we're done, right, with this part. The next part is solidifying. If you do a good demo, you won't get the major pushback here.
Right.
Right. That's one of the reasons that we always say we role play like a lay down, because you create your own.
Right.
You create your own. So I will have agents follow me sometimes in the field, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I could have sold that," and then they go do one, and it's like it's a little taste of humble pie because the lay down was created through the conversation.
Right.
Now, the pushback I could have received from you as a prospect, the way that we went through it, would be, I don't know my account.
Right.
She's not going to tell me I'm not giving it to you. She's already told me 12 times, I'm buying this. I can't wait. Right. She's
Exactly.
not going to change her mind on that. But she may say, I don't know my account number. Perfect. On Chase, when you pull up the app, just click the down arrow under your balance and it'll have the routing and account. Pen to paper, head down. Hush. She will do it. She will get it for you.
Right.
Right. Very, very simple.
How do you feel about a lot of times when they're trying to, like, so I understand a lot of people struggle with technology. I've had some people that are trying to find it. And so while they try to find it, I just keep like going back through the application, make sure I didn't miss anything. I go through and go ahead and sign my name. Just do kind of like little housekeeping while I wait on them. And then a lot of times they'll say, "Are you ready?"
Yep.
And I'm like, "Yep, I'm ready." And
Perfect.
so,
That's exactly how you should handle that. Because especially for the disability app, there's several places where you're duplicating information, and I'm not asking for it twice. So I just want to
Exactly.
write it down and have it easy to go for them.
right.
Once we get this part, I'm going to grab her signatures, right? On the last page, that's going to be the life insurance and retirement page,
Yes.
right? So a couple of things I'm going to do next. I'm going to hand her all the pages that need signatures, 1, 2, and 3, those 3 pages. Then I'm going to hand her the life insurance app, and I'm going to say, I know we talked about life insurance and retirement. That's really a much more involved conversation, and you need our expert on that. His name is Justin. I would recommend he'll reach out to you. This form just gives them permission to do so. He'll reach out to you when he does schedule that call. Please try to have your husband available as well. Because he'll put together different designs based off of what your goals are so that you guys can really start attacking those together. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to get her to sign that page. Then we're almost done to finalize and solidify that one pager that you're leaving behind that says, this is what you signed up for.
Yes.
This is what it does. This is what it cost. This is when you start paying for it.
Right.
Say, Jennifer, I'm going to leave you a ton of stuff. Your policies are going to get delivered in the mail from Combined within about 4 to 5 weeks, typically. Okay, so just
Okay.
look out for those in the mail. If you need a policy number or something like that beforehand, you're welcome to reach out to me. I can get it for you before they get delivered in the mail if you need it.
Okay.
But just so I can leave some notes for you, what's your favorite part of the disability plan? Is it the peace of mind? Is it that it's so affordable? Is it knowing that you've got $36,000 a year coming in no matter what? What do you think?
I think that it's affordable.
Okay.
and that if something happens, I don't have to worry that I will have some income.
Awesome. So just a peace of mind that comes from income protection. Perfect. And here's all the information of what we signed up for today. You have that with you.
Okay.
There's also a page in here that goes through if you need to file a claim. You
Okay.
can always call me. You can go to our website and you can start a claim there. You can email our office, or you can call Combine directly. You've got lots of places. Most of my clients call me and they're like, Whitney, help. And
Right.
we will take care of you if that's the case.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And then
good.
Jennifer, final thing, I know you're the first person I ran into today, so I'm
Yeah.
just kind of getting started, but being that you're one of the OGs, who else should I go chat with?
Oh my goodness. I was actually thinking while we were sitting here
You were?
talking, I was, and Julie is like 3 suites down.
Can you take me over there real quick? And
Yeah,
introduce me?
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
she's been talking about maternity leave. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
All right.
awesome.
That is the road map. We are officially done with that training. I hope that this gives you guys a lot of insight into exactly how we do what we do, why we do it that way. And then it's a nice place that you can go back and reference, right? If there's a piece of your business that you're struggling with, you've got resources and tools that you can go back and listen and correct. I will encourage you, this is only as good as the person using it. And so what I mean by that is you've got to use this tool, and you've got to keep your stats. If you're getting 15 appointments a day and you're closing 2, we need to work on building the need, right? We need to work on your buying
Absolutely.
atmosphere. If you're only getting 1 appointment a day, you're probably not doing pre-approach correctly. If you're only getting 4 appointments a day, maybe we need to work on your approach. But having that data allows us to know where you need to put in a little extra work and training.
Yeah.
So,
And that
Jennifer-
is something I do. I didn't even think about it until
Yeah.
you said. I kind of keep a list of how many people have suites, how many people were present, how many people set appointments, how many people purchased, and how many people turned me down.
That's because you're a real professional.
And so I like to look at that. And then I'm so excited about this because even though I'm the one on it, I will go back and watch it because I listen to role play on my way to the salons in the morning, just in case, because it's easy to miss a part. If, maybe you didn't sleep good, maybe you're just, your head's in the wrong place.
Yeah, I listen to training videos all the time just to be a little bit better than I was the day before. So you are a rock star. We are so grateful
you.
for you. Thank you for taking time out to do this for everybody.
You're most
Any
welcome.
final pro tip you have for new agents?
Just your attitude is just go in knowing that you have something they all need and that they're all going to be excited to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.